Hello again, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Real Life Fishing. And today we're going to take a look at the dash panel out of my boat. I did go out in the garage and get that thing out of there. Got all the way up to 30 degrees today. It's the warmest it's going to be for quite some time. So I took advantage of it, got out there, pulled that out. And so I've got the template piece to modify that. Still planning on not modifying the original dash panel. Going to replace that panel with something, whether it's another one of the same panel from Alumacraft, or like I said, I've got all the stuff to redo it in fiberglass. It's just a matter of figuring out where to do that. My buddy Scott there from Thankful Outdoors, the one that got me this wonderful glass. By the way, today is Belmead Reserve, but yeah, in any event, his construction on his workshop, or should I say remodeling of his workshop, is going a little slower than anticipated. Due to the cold temperatures and whatnot, the mud and paint and all that type of stuff. It's taking a lot longer for some of that finishing. So I'm starting to think of alternatives, but not sure just yet. But let's take a look at that panel. So here's the panel. This had a speedometer and a fuel gauge and a tach and a voltmeter, and these two were just blanks, these center two here. Here's the graph that's going to be mounted into there. So this bezel here that comes with, this is actually a reinforcement plate. And so what happens is you cut the dash or whatever panel you're going to use, right, to accept the graph. So you've got the dash here, and then the graph goes through the dash, right? But you only cut to the edge of this inset here, right? This lip around the edge where these screws are, right? This piece here stays like this behind the dash. Right, so then this would drop through. Then on the back side, this piece goes on like this to sandwich the dash in between there, right? And so that's how the graph is held in place. So then the rest of the kit that holds that together consists of this piece here. And there's two caps that go like this on the top of these bolts, right? So what happens then is the gimbal knobs that come with the graph, right, they go through here, right? So let me grab those. Okay, so these two plastic pieces on here, right, those come with this dash mount kit, and they've got the grooves cut in there, you can see, for the detents to adjust the angle, right, just like the gimbal would. So we take the graph, so there you go. That's not completely tightened up, but it gives you an idea of exactly how this works, right? So if we square that, right, so that's upright now. And then, so you've got a nut and a washer then that stop how far in that bolt goes, right? So we tighten that up, so you'd be squishing the dash panel in between here, right? And then you would tighten this to make sure that stays in place. And so that's how that gets held in. It's pretty secure. I'd say it's a pretty neat design, to be honest. Yeah, so that'll hold that in there against the dash. Just make sure you tighten everything up real good. And then the only thing I'm not crazy about with the 7 as compared to the 9s I used to have and the 10s and 12s that I have now is that the 7s don't have, at least this generation anyway, I don't know about current ones, but there was no cable collector. So each of these cables are just going to be plugged in here and then kind of hanging. I'm not really crazy about that. I'm worried that they're going to work themselves loose after time. So I'm going to have to find a way to zip tie those up real good under the dash so that they don't rattle themselves loose. I'll let you guys know how I make out with that. But so in terms of getting this panel out of the boat, it wasn't very difficult. You know, as you can see, there's a total of 6 screws, and they are the square screws. You know, not Phillips or flathead or Allen or anything. You know, the square ones, just like Alumacraft uses in the rest of the boat. So you get that out of there, and then I took a whole bunch of pictures of the back of this as soon as I got it out, so that I knew exactly how that was wired up. So I will insert some of those pictures here in this video quick in case anybody took theirs apart and doesn't know how to get it back together again. So now that we've taken a look at all those photos, hopefully you guys know how to put your dash back together again. But yeah, so this is fairly flat. It's got a little bit of a lip on it. I think I could probably just duplicate this in a flat piece. So I don't necessarily need to make a mold of this like I thought I was going to for the fiberglass. I'm not gonna go that far. I'll just you know, if I have to do this in fiberglass, I'll just mold it in a flat sheet, and then I'll come in and, you know, bevel the edges. But I haven't decided what I'm going to do just yet. Like I said, I reached out to the dealer that I bought the boat from, and gave them these numbers off the back panel here. By the way, that bottom number is the part number for the assembly with the gauges. So I'm hoping that the top number is the part number for just this panel. But I guess we'll just have to wait and see what the dealer has to say. But yeah, there's a discussion about how I'm going to mount that in the dash and show you guys exactly what that looks like. So Humminbird is nice. They do include this nice in-dash mounting template. If you buy in-dash mounting kit from them, which is very nice. So you can just cut it out exactly like they've got drawn here, right? Like I said, the graph overhangs a little bit, right? So you cut along the inside there and should be all set. But yeah, easy. So as always, my goal with these videos is to get one new subscriber for each video that I do. So if you like this video, if you learned something, the like button is down there. And if you want to subscribe, there should be a little picture of my truck with a crooked ass trailer behind it right over there. Go ahead and click on that to subscribe. And if you really like the content and you want YouTube to let you know when I publish something, apparently there's some stupid little bell or something that you have to click to turn on notifications, whatever. So if you happen to really like it, or you find me entertaining, or you like my bourbon reviews or what have you, you can go ahead and feel free to click that too. So thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time.